The year was 2012, and in the bustling mints of the United States, something extraordinary slipped through the cracks, unnoticed, almost impossible to believe. This is the story of the 2012 Mint marked Jefferson nickel that could be hiding in plain sight in your pocket change, waiting for the moment to reveal its staggering value. Most people think of nickels as simple coins. They buy a cup of coffee, they sit forgotten in jars and drawers. Imagine the thrill of discovering that one single nickel could be worth $1.6 million, a sum so large it could buy a house, a car, a dream vacation, or secure your family's future for generations. And yet, for decades, collectors and even seasoned coin dealers overlooked it, unaware of the hidden secret embedded in its design. The story begins at the Philadelphia Mint, where thousands of Jefferson nickels rolled off the production line in 2012. It was supposed to be an ordinary year, ordinary coins, ordinary life. But in the process, a small number of nickels were struck with an error so rare, so shocking, that the numismatic world has never fully recovered. These coins are known as the 2012 Mint marked Jefferson nickels with the double die reverse, a subtle but life-changing anomaly that turns a simple nickel into a million-dollar treasure. It's all in the lettering and the design on the coin's back. Normally, the Jefferson nickel features Monticello in crisp, precise detail. But on these rare 2012 nickels, the inscriptions appear doubled. Look closely at the words E pluribus unum or United States of America. On a normal nickel, everything aligns perfectly, neat and steady. On this error coin, the letters echo, as if caught in a faint ghostly shadow. It's subtle, almost imperceptible, but this is exactly what makes the coin priceless. Collectors who have stumbled upon one describe a mix of disbelief and exhilaration. Imagine sifting through a jar of nickels and suddenly noticing that ghostly doubling. Your heart races. You check again. And then it hits you, this is not a mistake. This is the coin that could change your life. One single coin, worth potentially over $1 million, the rarity of these nickels cannot be overstated. Thousands of Jefferson nickels were struck in 2012, but experts estimate that fewer than a handful display this dramatic error. Some reports suggest that only a few dozen may exist in the world today, and each one carries the potential to sell for astronomical sums at auction. One collector even confirmed a private sale that approached $1.6 million, a jaw-dropping figure for a coin smaller than a silver dollar. It starts with careful observation. Take a magnifying glass and focus on the reverse side. Look at Monticello first. Are the columns sharp and precise, or do they seem doubled, like a shadow beside the original? Then move to the lettering. Each letter should be crisp. If you see any doubling, even faint, take a moment. This is the moment collectors live for, the instant when ordinary metal becomes a fortune. The excitement doesn't end there. Even among these rare nickels, condition matters. A coin in pristine, uncirculated condition can reach extraordinary sums. Any wear, scratches, or tarnish will affect value, but the mere fact that the error exists can make it worth hundreds of thousands, even in less than perfect condition. And yet, the dream is always there, the dream of discovering one in a forgotten drawer or jar, tucked between other coins, unnoticed for years. Imagine the story that could unfold in your life. You open an old coin jar and see that faint doubling. You check again, and again. You call a dealer. You get it verified. And suddenly, your ordinary life has a new dimension. You are holding a treasure worth a fortune, a nickel that has traveled decades, hidden in plain sight, and now it has chosen you. These nickels aren't just about money. They are about history, mystery, and the thrill of discovery. They remind us that extraordinary things can hide in the most mundane places. That even something as small as a coin, overlooked by millions, can carry a story, a secret, and the potential to change a life forever. With so much value at stake, authentication is crucial. Only professional numismatists or grading services can confirm the 2012 double die reverse error. Fake coins exist, and the stakes are high. Never rush. Examine carefully. Confirm with experts. And keep in mind, the sheer rarity of these coins is what fuels their astronomical value. One wrong move could cost a collector millions in missed opportunity. The mystery deepens when you consider how these coins even existed. Errors like this occur because of tiny shifts in the minting process, almost imperceptible misalignments of the dies that strike the coin. The fact that a handful of coins escaped quality control is almost miraculous. Each surviving coin is a testament to chance, timing, and fate, the universe whispering to a lucky collector that extraordinary fortune sometimes hides in the ordinary. For collectors, the thrill is both emotional and financial. You aren't just finding a coin, you are discovering a story. A story that spans decades, thousands of minted pieces, and the eyes of countless hands that held it before you. Every scratch, every gleam, every subtle double imprint tells a tale of history, rarity, and the delicate chaos of minting that allowed this nickel to exist at all. Some reports suggest that even coins once considered lost may be circulating in the United States right now, unnoticed in pockets, drawers, or coin rolls. Every jar of nickels, every small pile of change, could conceal a treasure that collectors dream about at night. If you want to identify this coin for yourself, focus on three things. First, examine the reverse design, Monticello. Second, study the lettering carefully under magnification. Look for the ghostly doubling in United States of America, or E pluribus unum. Third, check the mint mark. Only nickels struck at Philadelphia in 2012 with this subtle doubling carry the life-changing value. Once verified, the next step is preservation. Keep it safe. Store it properly. Protect it like the million-dollar treasure it is. Collectors who have experienced the thrill of finding one describe the sensation as surreal. The disbelief, the shaking hands, the sudden awareness that their ordinary collection has transformed into something extraordinary. This is the power of numismatics, the ability to turn simple coins into historical artifacts, rare anomalies, and life-altering treasures. And while $1.6 million may sound unimaginable, it's not just a number. It's proof that magic exists in the most mundane corners of life, that fortune can strike silently, without warning. Every coin jar, every pocket change, every small collection holds the potential for discovery. History has shown that these coins don't sit quietly. They are auctioned, they make headlines, they enter the annals of numismatic lore as some of the most valuable Jefferson Nickels ever discovered. And yet, their story isn't over. For every known coin, there could be another, hidden, waiting, almost invisible, yet worth over $1 million. Take a breath. Look closely. Inspect each nickel, not as a piece of currency, but as a potential portal to fortune. Because somewhere in that jar, in that forgotten drawer, could lie a coin that will turn an ordinary day into a life-changing moment. This exact penny could be sitting in your drawer right now, and it's worth over $1 million. But one lucky collector, one observant eye, could uncover a treasure worth over $1 million in their very own collection. Today, we are diving deep into the mystery of the 1984 D. Jefferson Nickel, a coin that whispers of secrets, rarity, and fortune. That it begins in 1984, in the bustling mints of America. Thousands, millions of nickels were struck, intended for everyday commerce. To the casual observer, each one looked the same, Jefferson on the front, Monticello on the back. But among these common coins, an extraordinary anomaly was quietly being born. A small, almost invisible flaw, an error in the minting process, created a version of the nickel so rare that its value today has stunned the coin world. Some have sold for nearly $1.9 million at auction, numbers that seem almost impossible, yet are real. Think about that for a moment. The change jingling in your pocket, the coins you hand to a cashier every week, buried in that ordinary collection could be something extraordinary. And this is not just a story about luck. It's about knowing what to look for. The 1984 D nickel is not just any nickel, it carries a mint mark, D, minted in Denver, but what sets it apart is the striking anomaly in its design. Collectors describe it as subtle at first glance, almost hidden. The edges may seem slightly off, the relief deeper, the details sharper. It's a coin that demands attention, that rewards patience and an eagle-eyed collector. Some refer to it as the hidden diamond of Denver, a nickname whispered in collector circles with awe and reverence. Finding one is like discovering a secret that history forgot to tell you. Now, imagine holding one of these coins in your hand. Feel the weight, the history. This is a coin that was made to circulate, to be ordinary, yet by a twist of fate, it became extraordinarily rare. And the stories of those who found it are nothing short of miraculous. One collector inherited a handful of old nickels from a late relative, unaware that among them was a 1984 D. When an expert examined it, the room went silent. That single nickel, unremarkable to the untrained eye, was worth a staggering 7 figures. First, you must know its markings. Look closely at the D mint mark on the reverse side. It should be precise, almost crisp to the point of seeming unnatural. Then examine the edges. Unlike a regular nickel, a 1984 D error often shows a faint doubling, a subtle shift in the lettering, almost as if the coin had been struck twice by mistake. This is what numismatists call a double die, and it's the secret behind its immense value. Pause and imagine the possibilities. You could be sorting through an old roll of nickels you bought for spare change and stumble upon the coin that collectors dream of. It's not just about money. It's about history, discovery, and the thrill of unearthing something that the world has nearly forgotten. This coin connects you to a moment in time, a mint in Denver in 1984, and a story that could never have been predicted, and the market confirms its worth. Over the past decades, sales of verified 1984 D Jefferson Nickels have reached eye-watering amounts. Auction houses report bids reaching millions of dollars, collectors willing to pay life-changing sums for a single piece. The combination of rarity, condition, and the error itself creates a perfect storm of value. And that storm could be waiting in a stack of coins in your own home. To truly understand this coin, you must also appreciate its emotional pull. It's more than metal, it's a symbol of patience, diligence, and the magic of chance. For collectors aged 30 to 70, many of whom have been chasing rare coins for decades, this nickel represents the pinnacle of discovery, the moment when years of searching, studying, and hoping converge into a single, breathtaking triumph. First, handle your coins carefully, and study them under proper lighting. Examine rolls from 1984, particularly those with a Denver mint mark. Pay attention to the tiniest details, doubled lines, misaligned features, sharper relief, and unusual texture. Compare what you see with verified examples online or in trusted numismatic references. Remember, the difference between an ordinary nickel and a $1.9 million treasure can be a millimeter in minting. Stories of discovery continue to inspire. One retiree, cleaning out drawers in his old home, discovered a 1984 D tucked among other coins he had collected casually. The initial disbelief quickly gave way to excitement, then awe, as he realized the life-changing value in his hands. Another collector, scanning a coin show for decades, finally came across the coin in perfect condition, and the sale to a private collector changed his life overnight. These are not just anecdotes, they are real moments of wonder that underscore the magic of numismatics, and while the coin is incredibly rare, it's not impossible to find. Each year, new examples surface, and collectors continue to be astonished. It's the thrill of the hunt, the joy of discovery, and the reminder that sometimes, the extraordinary is hiding in plain sight. Take a moment to visualize it. A simple nickel, ordinary in appearance, yet carrying a legacy that could be worth millions. A coin that embodies both history and fortune, waiting quietly for the right person to uncover it. It's a story of chance, patience, and the meticulous eye of the collector, qualities you already have if you've been following the thrill of coin hunting. This is your call to action. If you've inherited coins, inherited collections, or even just have a jar of change lying around, take a closer look. Study, compare, and examine. Every coin has a story, but some have a story that could redefine your life. The 1984 D Jefferson nickel is one of those stories. One coin, small and unassuming, could bridge the gap between ordinary life and a dream fulfilled. The next time you reach into your pocket or your drawer, you might be holding a piece of history, a piece of fortune, a coin whose value could astound the world. This exact penny could be sitting in your drawer right now, and it's worth over $1 million. We're diving into the story of the 1999 P mint mark Jefferson nickel, a coin so rare, so extraordinary, that collectors have fought over it like treasure hunters chasing a long-lost artifact. The year 1999 wasn't remarkable on the surface. Life went on as usual. People were using coins without a second thought. But somewhere, deep in the United States Mint, a mistake occurred, a flaw that would create one of the most valuable coins in modern history. It was subtle. Almost invisible to the untrained eye. But for those who knew what to look for, it was nothing short of miraculous. This nickel, the 1999 P Mint marked Jefferson, carries a unique error. Only a handful exist. We're talking about fewer than a dozen confirmed specimens in the entire world. And yet, it may have passed through countless wallets, registers, and piggy banks without anyone realizing it. Imagine being the person who unknowingly held $1 million coin in their hand, just waiting to be discovered. Collectors describe it as a coin with a hidden signature, a small but undeniable anomaly in its design that sets it apart from every other nickel minted that year. The P Mint mark itself is subtle, located just above Monticello's dome on the reverse. But in this particular error, the placement, the depth, and the strike of the mint mark are unusual, creating a variant that experts drool over. Some call it the $1 million nickel, not just for its rarity, but because it has traded hands for astonishing amounts, topping $1 million in private sales. The story of its discovery reads like a thriller. One collector recounted digging through rolls of nickels pulled from a local bank, unaware that he was about to stumble on history. There it was, glinting in the light, a nickel that didn't quite match the others, a coin with a story written in metal. Within weeks, news spread through the tight-knit community of coin collectors, and suddenly, ordinary nickels were examined under microscopes, under bright lamps, with magnifying glasses that revealed the secrets hidden in plain sight. First, check the obverse, the side with Jefferson's portrait. The details should be sharper, almost unnaturally defined, with a slight doubling in certain areas, a telltale sign of a minting error. Next, flip it over. Look at Monticello and the P Mint mark. In genuine examples, the mark may appear faint, slightly off-center, or unusually deep, small variations, but enough to separate the ordinary from the priceless. Handling the coin under proper lighting is crucial. Every shadow and reflection can reveal the hidden truth. Collectors also note a subtle shift in the rim. On most nickels, the rim is perfectly aligned and uniform. On this rare 1999 P Mint mark, the rim might appear slightly elevated or compressed in one spot, a microscopic imperfection that was never intended, yet is exactly what makes the coin extraordinary. It's these tiny details, these invisible fingerprints of history, that transform a simple nickel into a life-altering treasure. Imagine the emotions that flood a collector's heart when they hold this coin for the first time. Shock, disbelief, a surge of adrenaline. The feeling that a lifetime of searching, of patience, of careful observation, has suddenly been rewarded. This is the kind of moment that changes everything, a moment where ordinary life collides with unimaginable fortune. The market value of this coin is staggering. While most 1999 nickels are worth only a few cents, these rare errors have been reported to sell for as high as $1 million in top condition. $1 million for a coin that could easily have been sitting unnoticed in a drawer for decades. Auctions have drawn worldwide attention, with collectors from across the globe competing to claim the prize. And each sale reinforces the idea that sometimes, history hides in the smallest, most ordinary places. What makes this coin so captivating isn't just the money. It's the story, the mystery, the thrill of discovery. Each nickel carries the energy of a moment frozen in time, a mistake, an anomaly, a hidden gem that the mint never intended to create. And now, that gem could be yours. The very idea that a single coin in your pocket, your change jar, or your collection could be worth over $1 million is both thrilling and terrifying. It challenges everything we think we know about ordinary objects, teaching us that sometimes, the extraordinary hides where we least expect it. Collectors urge patience and careful examination. Roll by roll, coin by coin, scrutinizing every detail. They recommend magnification tools, bright lighting, and the discipline to pause and inspect every nickel you encounter. Every so often, the right coin reveals itself, a silent whisper of history, waiting for someone wise enough to listen. and think of the stories this coin could tell. A coin minted in Washington, D.C., traversing decades of American life, passing through countless hands, unnoticed by everyone except the few who finally recognize its value. It's a reminder that fortune often favors the observant, the patient, the curious. That life-changing discoveries don't always announce themselves, sometimes, they sit quietly, waiting for their moment. The thrill of the hunt is part of the allure. Each roll of nickels is a chance, a gamble, a flirtation with fate. And the knowledge that a single 1999 mint marked Jefferson nickel could hold the key to unimaginable wealth transforms the act of searching into a gripping adventure. Every coin handle becomes a story, every drawer explored a potential doorway into history. Remember, this isn't just about money. It's about the thrill, the suspense, the story behind the metal. Every detail, every imperfection, every anomaly is a chapter in a narrative that spans decades. And in that narrative, the 1999 mint marked Jefferson nickel stands as a protagonist, a silent hero, a reminder that the extraordinary often hides in the most mundane places. Examine each nickel with care. The rarest of treasures often looks like the most ordinary items. And if you're patient, observant, and lucky, you might just stumble upon something that has the power to change your life. A coin that embodies history, rarity, and the thrill of discovery, a coin that could be worth over $1 million. Every collector dreams of that moment. The moment when your hands close around a coin that makes your heart race, your mind reel, and your imagination soar. A coin that whispers secrets of the past, the mint, and the rarest mistakes of history. The 1999 mint marked Jefferson nickel is that coin. Its rarity, its story, its value, everything about it is extraordinary, and perhaps, most excitingly of all, you don't need to travel the world or dig through ancient archives. This coin could be right under your nose. In a drawer, a jar, or a forgotten collection. Waiting. Patient. Ready to reveal its secret to the one who finally notices. We're diving into a mystery that has haunted collectors for decades, the 1987 mint marked Jefferson nickel. A coin so rare, so enigmatic, that its existence has turned casual collectors into millionaires. And yet, most Americans have no idea it's sitting quietly in their pocket change. The story begins in the United States Mint, the quiet halls where billions of coins are produced every year. In 1987, something unusual happened. Amid the hum of presses and the rhythm of stamping machines, a tiny error slipped through the cracks. A mint mark, normally a small P for Philadelphia, appeared in a way that shouldn't have existed, a mark that would later transform ordinary nickels into million-dollar treasures. For years, collectors believed that the 1987 Jefferson nickel was just another routine coin. They passed it over in jars, wallets, and coin rolls, completely unaware of the hidden value. But as the story goes, a few sharp-eyed collectors noticed something different. A subtle misalignment, a slightly doubled mint mark, something almost invisible, but enough to spark excitement in the numismatic world. That small discovery would become the key to millions of dollars in wealth, an ordinary coin, sitting quietly among pennies and dimes, suddenly turning into a fortune worth over $1 million. The idea seems impossible, yet it's real. Experts and collectors alike have documented sales reaching astronomical figures. One single 1987 Jefferson nickel, in pristine condition, has been reported to sell for $1.1 million. Imagine that, one coin in your hand, potentially more valuable than most houses in the country. What is the exact feature that turns an everyday coin into a millionaire's treasure? It all comes down to the mint mark and the subtle errors around it. On a genuine 1987 nickel, the P should be perfectly centered, clean, and consistent with other coins of the year. But in rare instances, the mint mark is doubled or slightly shifted. It may appear faint, almost like a ghost, but to the trained eye, it screams rarity. That tiny detail, barely noticeable, is the difference between a 5-cent piece and $1 million coin. Collectors have spent countless hours studying these coins, using magnifying glasses, microscopes, and even digital tools. They search for slight variations in the P, subtle differences in the spacing, the edges, or the thickness of the imprint. Each nickel tells a story that only becomes visible when you look closely. And when you find that perfect specimen, the reward can be life-changing. It's easier than you think, but it requires patience. Begin by examining your nickels from 1987. Look carefully at the obverse, the side with Thomas Jefferson's face. Focus on the mint mark near the right-hand shoulder. Under magnification, check for any doubling, misalignment, or unusual characteristics. Compare it with standard 1987p nickels online or in numismatic guides. Even a tiny irregularity could be the difference between a common coin and one worth $1 million, but identifying it is only part of the thrill. Imagine holding that coin, knowing its history, knowing the story of the mint era that created it. Picture the excitement of a collector who first realized its true value. For decades, these coins were overlooked, tossed into change jars or coin rolls. And yet, each one carried the potential for unimaginable wealth. That moment of discovery, that split-second realization, is what drives collectors to spend years searching. Even seasoned numismatists describe the feeling as almost magical. It's a combination of suspense, luck, and careful observation. One minute you're holding a regular nickel, the next you're holding a piece of history, a coin that could change your life forever. The thrill is part of the journey, and it's why collectors across the US keep digging, keep searching, and keep hoping for that one miraculous find. The story of the 1987p Jefferson nickel is also a lesson in paying attention to the details others overlook. It's a reminder that extraordinary value can hide in the most ordinary places. A coin tucked in a drawer, a box of spare change on a shelf, a forgotten pocket change, all potential gateways to wealth. And the truth is, the opportunity is still out there. Millions of coins were minted, but only a handful carry the errors that make them rare and priceless. Imagine a quiet afternoon, sorting through your collection or checking your change, when suddenly you notice it, a subtle anomaly in the mint mark. Your heart races. Could this be the one? Could this ordinary nickel, unnoticed by most for decades, be worth over $1 million? That moment, that instant of recognition, is why collectors call these coins the $1 million nickels. And while many coins have errors, not all reach these staggering values. The 1987p Jefferson nickel is unique because the market recognizes it as one of the rarest and most valuable modern coins. Its story is documented, its sales verified, and its legend continues to grow. Collectors who discovered it early have transformed their lives, proving that sometimes, fortune favors the most observant. This isn't just about money. It's about history, mystery, and the thrill of discovery. Each nickel carries with it the legacy of the US Mint, the meticulous work of engravers, and the rare mistakes that turned ordinary coins into priceless treasures. When you hold one, you're holding a piece of that story, a fragment of time, error, and opportunity. So, if you've ever felt the excitement of possibility, the rush of uncovering something rare and valuable, the 1987p Jefferson nickel is a beacon for collectors. It's proof that extraordinary fortune can hide where you least expect it. Every roll of change, every overlooked drawer, every jar of coins could hold the key to unimaginable wealth. One small nickel, one tiny mint mark, and suddenly you could be part of a legend that spans decades. Study the mint mark, compare it carefully, and never underestimate the power of a tiny detail. This coin isn't just metal, it's a story, a legacy, and a chance at life-changing fortune. And if you're lucky, if you spot the rare variation that collectors dream about, you could hold the key to over $1 million in your hand. Hidden, quietly, in the pocket of your jacket, or at the bottom of a jar full of forgotten coins. The 1967 no-mint mark Jefferson nickel, one of the rarest treasures in American coin collecting, is a story that few know, yet everyone dreams about. It starts in a time of change. 1967, America was in the middle of social upheaval, the music of rebellion filled the streets, and somewhere, hidden in plain sight, a tiny piece of copper-nickel alloy was quietly entering circulation. Most people didn't notice it. Most people never thought twice about the coins in their hands. But one tiny detail turned ordinary nickels into extraordinary fortune. A missing mint mark. The mint mark is usually a small letter on a coin, a symbol of the mint where it was struck, D for Denver, S for San Francisco. But the 1967 Jefferson nickel has a mysterious twist. Certain coins have no mint mark at all, which is unusual for that year. And when that absence occurs, it isn't just a trivial mistake. Collectors have discovered that these no mint mark nickels, in perfect condition, can fetch up to $1.2 million. Yes, you heard that right, over $1 million for a single nickel. It's not obvious at first glance. Start with the obverse side, the front. Look closely at Thomas Jefferson's profile. Examine the details of his hair, his coat, the letters spelling out Liberty. Now flip it over to the reverse. A Monticello stands quietly, the domed building that Jefferson designed himself. And here is the key, the mint mark area, just to the right of Monticello. For the no mint mark variety, it is completely blank. No letter. Just the smooth surface of the coin. The story doesn't end there. Even within the no mint mark coins, only the sharpest, most flawless examples can reach the staggering values collectors have paid at auctions. Every scratch, every worn edge, every tiny imperfection lowers the value. Some coins that look almost identical can be worth tens of thousands or nothing at all. But the right one, in pristine condition, can reach $1 million or more. Imagine sitting at a kitchen table, sifting through a jar of nickels from the 1960s, when suddenly, your eyes catch it. A nickel with no mint mark. Your heart races. Could this be the one? You can almost hear the whispers of history, the people who minted it, the hands that spent it, the decades it passed through, all leading to this moment. Every coin has a story, but few have a destiny like this. Collectors describe the feeling as almost spiritual. It's not just about money, it's about holding a piece of history that survived by chance. Each no mint mark nickel carries a secret, a quiet defiance of the ordinary, a challenge to everyone who underestimated its value. It's a reminder that extraordinary things can hide in the most ordinary places. To identify the coin accurately, you need more than a casual glance. Use a magnifying glass. Examine the metal closely. Authentic 1967 no mint mark nickels are composed of 75% copper and 25% nickel. They have a subtle luster when light hits them just right. The edges should be smooth, not overly worn. The date should be crisp and legible, sitting perfectly centered. Anything that appears off could either be a counterfeit or a less valuable variety. Even the experts are still amazed at the rarity. In some documented sales, these coins have exchanged hands for millions of dollars. Collectors at high-stakes auctions have watched in disbelief as bids climb higher and higher, each one trying to capture this fleeting treasure before it disappears again into someone's collection. And it's not just about value. Holding a coin like this is like holding a time machine. You can feel 1967 in your hands, a year of transformation, of music, of culture, and yet, hidden in a simple nickel, a story that was meant to remain secret for decades. Every minute you spend examining your coins, every jar you dig through, is a chance at discovery. Most people never realize the fortune they pass by every day. The 1967 no mint mark Jefferson nickel is proof that sometimes, the greatest treasures are hiding right under our noses, waiting for patience, care, and an observant eye. Even for experienced collectors, finding one can be life-changing. There's a thrill in knowing that among the coins you've held, one could redefine your entire understanding of value. Every scratch, every worn edge, every hint of shine could either be a disappointment or the start of a story worth telling for generations. As the years pass, the excitement grows. These coins don't lose their appeal. The market for them only intensifies. Auctions continue to break records, and stories emerge of ordinary people discovering these rare nickels in jars, drawers, or coin rolls that have been forgotten for decades. Some have spent years searching, while others have stumbled upon them by sheer luck, a reminder that fortune favors the patient and the observant. And now, as you sit here, listening, maybe even glancing at the coins you own, consider this: the odds are small, yes, but the reward is immense. You don't need to travel across the country or scour high-end auctions. Sometimes, the treasure is already in your possession. Your change, your loose coins, the ones you rarely notice, one of them could be the 1967 no-mint mark Jefferson nickel. The weight in your hand, the cold metal, the smooth edges. You examine it carefully, heart pounding, and you see it, the blank space where a mint mark should be. You realize what it is, and suddenly, you understand. This tiny coin, so easily overlooked for decades, has a story worth millions. History, rarity, condition, and luck all converge in this single nickel. And while millions of collectors search endlessly, some will never find it. Others, however, might just have it lying in a drawer, in a wallet, or tucked into a box with other forgotten coins. Take a moment and look at your own coins. Really look. You never know which one could carry the legacy of $1 million discovery. The thrill, the suspense, the life-changing potential, it's all there, waiting quietly for the moment it will be recognized. Yes, a nickel. A coin you might pass by every day without a second thought, now sitting on a shelf or in a drawer somewhere, waiting to make someone a millionaire. The story of this coin begins quietly, almost innocuously. In 2007, the United States Mint produced millions of Jefferson Nickels, each one carefully struck and inspected. Most ended up in circulation, serving their mundane purpose in pocket change, gas station purchases, and tip jars. But hidden among these everyday coins was a rare anomaly, a nickel with no mint mark at all, a subtle detail invisible to the untrained eye, but a feature that instantly sets it apart from every other coin minted that year. This is not just a story about money. It's a story about discovery, about the thrill of uncovering something extraordinary hidden within the ordinary. Imagine the excitement of picking up a coin at random, feeling the cold metal between your fingers, and realizing you are holding a piece of history worth a staggering fortune. One that could turn your life upside down. In an instant, collectors call it the 2007 no-mint mark Jefferson nickel, and it's shrouded in mystery. For years, rumors circulated of its existence, whispered in the quiet corners of coin clubs, debated among numismatic experts, yet few have ever held one. Its rarity comes not from a manufacturing error, but from a subtle oversight, a missing mint mark that, at first glance, seems insignificant, almost invisible. But for those who know what to look for, this coin is priceless. Now, let's take a moment to understand why this coin is so special. Every Jefferson nickel produced in 2007 should bear a mint mark, a small letter indicating whether it came from Philadelphia, Denver, or another mint. Yet, this particular nickel carries none. No P, no D, no S. Just the face of Thomas Jefferson staring back at you, unaware of the fortune he now guards. The lack of a mint mark is rare enough to send shockwaves through the collector community. And in top condition, uncirculated and flawless, it has been reported to sell for as high as $1.5 million. That's right, $1 million for a coin most people wouldn't give a second glance. You might be wondering how to spot this elusive nickel. It takes a keen eye and careful attention. First, examine the obverse, the front of the coin. Look at the right side, near Jefferson's portrait. Is there a mint mark? If there is none, congratulations, you may have just discovered a coin of unimaginable value. Next, inspect the coin's condition. The edges should be crisp, the surfaces clean and unblemished. Any scratches, discoloration, or wear will diminish its worth, so handling this coin is a delicate art, but don't get discouraged if you don't find one immediately. This is where patience and persistence come into play. Collectors often sift through hundreds, even thousands of nickels in search of this gem. And for those who finally do, the reward is monumental. Imagine the stories you could tell, the freedom you could enjoy, and the dreams you could fulfill with a single, small coin worth millions of dollars. What makes this coin even more fascinating is its quiet history. Unlike the famed double-die pennies or the rare buffalo nickels that have long captured the public imagination, the 2007 no-mint mark Jefferson nickel has only recently gained notoriety. Its existence was nearly dismissed as a myth, until verified by trusted numismatic authorities and private collectors who documented its extraordinary rarity. Each sale is met with awe and disbelief, a simple nickel commanding a price that could buy a luxury home, a sports car collection, or a lifetime of financial security. Now, let's talk about the thrill of the hunt. Imagine walking through your own collection, sorting through coins accumulated over decades, and suddenly your heart skips a beat. A nickel looks different, slightly unfamiliar. You take a closer look, your eyes scanning for that telltale absence. Could it be? The realization hits like lightning: you might be holding a coin worth more than most people earn in a lifetime. That moment of recognition, that rush of adrenaline, is why collectors become obsessed, why they dedicate their lives to searching for these hidden treasures. It's important to remember, this isn't just about money. It's about the connection to history, to the story behind every coin minted. Each Jefferson nickel carries with it the legacy of the 20th and 21st centuries, the hands it has passed through, and the events it has silently witnessed. And now, a single nickel with no mint mark has emerged from obscurity to become a symbol of luck, patience, and the extraordinary surprises life can hide in plain sight. For anyone hoping to find one, the process begins with awareness. Always check your change, your collections, even coins inherited from relatives. The 2007 no mint mark Jefferson nickel is not flashy. It doesn't scream "I'm valuable" to the casual observer. Its power lies in subtlety, in the quiet knowledge that something seemingly ordinary can be extraordinary. And if you are lucky enough to spot one, know that you hold in your hands a coin with a potential value of up to $1.50 million. Collectors who have sold this coin often describe the experience as surreal. Emails, phone calls, and private meetings to finalize sales are conducted with a mixture of excitement and disbelief. To see a nickel, a coin so common, so ubiquitous, command a price reserved for rare art or luxury estates is a reminder that treasures are often hidden where we least expect them. Even more astonishing is the impact this coin can have on a person's life. Stories have circulated of individuals who, after discovering a no mint mark Jefferson nickel, have achieved financial freedom, funded education, or fulfilled lifelong dreams. The coin becomes more than currency, it becomes a symbol of possibility, of hope, and of the astonishing potential waiting in the world around us. Learn the subtle cues. Train your eye to notice the missing mint mark. Handle coins carefully. Document your finds. Connect with other collectors who understand the thrill of rarity. And above all, never underestimate the ordinary. This coin has shown that extraordinary value can hide behind the most mundane surfaces, and now, as you reflect on this story, remember the excitement, the mystery, the life-changing potential of a single Jefferson nickel. The next time you reach into your pocket or your change jar, take a moment. Examine the coins with care. That one nickel, the 2007 no mint mark Jefferson nickel, could be hiding among them, quietly waiting to reveal its extraordinary secret. Imagine telling your friends, your family, that you discovered a coin worth $1 million, a story that sounds too good to be true, yet is undeniably real. That thrill, that disbelief, that life-altering moment is exactly what makes this coin so legendary. Each one is a testament to the idea that fortune favors the observant, the patient, and the persistent. Every collector dreams of that moment. The coin sitting in a drawer, a jar, or a dusty box, waiting to be noticed. And when it is, everything changes. The ordinary becomes extraordinary, the small becomes monumental, and a simple nickel can define a lifetime. You might have walked past it thousands of times without a second glance. A small, unassuming nickel, worn from decades of handling, blending in with the hundreds of other coins jingling in your pocket. But this one is different. This one has a story that begins in the heart of the United States Mint, where a mistake turned a simple Jefferson nickel into one of the most sought-after coins in history. In 1974, a rare error occurred. Some nickels were struck without the mint mark, a tiny D or S indicating the Denver or San Francisco Mint. No one noticed at first. The coins were released into circulation, indistinguishable from the millions of other Jefferson nickels produced that year. But collectors would eventually discover that these no mint mark nickels were exceedingly rare, almost like finding a needle in a haystack. The mystery only deepens when you consider the numbers. Experts estimate that only a handful of these coins exist in pristine, uncirculated condition. Some say fewer than a dozen might be hidden away in private collections. And those lucky few who own one could be sitting on a fortune worth over $1 million. First, the coin itself. The 1974 no-mint mark Jefferson nickel looks almost identical to every other nickel in your pocket. On the obverse side, you see Thomas Jefferson's profile, just like any regular nickel. But the key is the mint mark, or, in this case, the lack of one. Check the right side, just below Jefferson's portrait, near the date. If there is no D or S, congratulations, you could be holding something extraordinary. Now, don't be fooled by wear or discoloration. Many coins have rubbed surfaces, making the mint mark difficult to detect. The most valuable examples are in pristine, uncirculated condition, with a sharp, detailed design and no signs of handling. If your coin matches these criteria, it could be worth not just thousands, but millions of dollars. Imagine, a single nickel that could change your life forever, a nickel worth more than most people earn in a lifetime, but the story doesn't end there. There's something almost magical about these coins, the way they connect us to history, to the moment they were created, to the hands that once held them. Each nickel carries a piece of 1974, a year of change and uncertainty in America. And yet, this tiny coin survived, unnoticed for decades, waiting for someone to recognize its true worth. Collectors describe the thrill of finding a 1974 no-mint mark Jefferson nickel as indescribable. It's not just about the money, it's about discovery, about holding a piece of history in your hand and knowing that no one else quite like it exists in the world. The emotional weight of that moment is unparalleled. But if you're searching for this coin, there are a few tips to keep in mind. Always examine nickels from 1974 carefully. Look under bright light, use a magnifying glass, and pay attention to the space near the date on the obverse. Any sign of a missing mint mark is cause for closer inspection. And remember, the rarest coins are those in the best condition. Even minor scratches or discoloration can affect value dramatically. Some of these coins have sold at auction for astonishing amounts. Reports suggest that top-condition specimens have reached as high as $1.9 million. Yes, a single nickel, worth more than most people will ever earn, all because of a tiny minting anomaly. Imagine walking into your kitchen, checking a jar of coins, and discovering one of these hidden gems. Your heart would race, your hands would shake, and in that instant, your life could change forever. The allure of the 1974 no-mint mark Jefferson nickel is more than just financial. It's the thrill of the hunt, the magic of uncovering something so rare, so perfectly preserved, that it seems almost otherworldly. And for many collectors, the chase is as important as the prize. Searching through coin rolls, sifting through decades of change, never knowing when that extraordinary moment will come, it's a story of hope, persistence, and a touch of luck. Experts warn, however, that counterfeits exist. Some coins have been altered to remove a mint mark, creating the illusion of a rare nickel. That's why verification is critical. Grading by a trusted professional coin service ensures authenticity, confirming that what you hold is indeed one of the rarest nickels ever minted. The peace of mind that comes with knowing you own a genuine 1974 no-mint mark Jefferson nickel is priceless. The emotional connection collectors feel is undeniable. This is not just a coin, it's a portal to a moment in time. It's a reminder that history is all around us, hidden in the objects we touch every day. And sometimes, if we're patient and observant, it rewards us in ways we never imagined. A single nickel, ordinary to the untrained eye, becomes a symbol of luck, history, and unimaginable fortune. Imagine telling your grandchildren that a tiny coin in your pocket once changed your life. Imagine seeing their eyes widen as you explain that this nickel, overlooked for decades, was worth over $1 million. It's not just a story of wealth, it's a story of discovery, of patience, and of the magic that exists in the ordinary. You don't need to travel the world, hunt through ancient collections, or invest in expensive coin rolls to find your treasure. Sometimes, the most extraordinary discoveries are hiding right in plain sight, in the change you carry every day, in a drawer, in a forgotten jar of coins. Every nickel from 1974 deserves a closer look. The opportunity is real, the stakes are high, and the reward is life-changing. Examine it. Look for that missing mint mark. It could be easy to overlook, almost invisible to an untrained eye, but for those who see it, the possibilities are endless. This is the coin that has transformed lives, made millionaires, and captured the hearts of collectors across the United States. It's about history, rarity, and the thrill of discovery. Every coin has a story, but very few have a story as powerful as the 1974 no-mint marked Jefferson nickel. One coin, one moment, one chance, and the potential to hold a fortune worth over $1 million in your hands.